After sailing 600 nautical miles, we've made it to Tobermory on the island of Mull. After a great few days exploring and eating more cheese than is probably advisable, now we're heading into the unknown north of Ardnamurchan Point. We were pretty nervous to go around the most westerly point of mainland Britain, which is also where the Scottish coastline gets even more wild, with towns and marinas becoming much fewer and further between. Given how remote this area is, we were really hoping that nothing on board broke. So obviously something broke on our first day off-grid, and we were on our own to fix it. But there's silver linings in every situation. Yes, we had to tackle this problem on our own, but the seclusion also meant that we could really experience how beautifully wild the Scottish Highlands can be.
We're here in Tobermory and we're just about to plan our great escape, really. Yeah, planning to head round Ardnamurchan Point. Don't know how to pronounce that. Has a headland that's just north of here that kind of is like the boundary between easy Scottish cruising and the more serious stuff to the north that's like includes the Isle of Skye and Lewis and Harris and stuff. So yeah, I figured we'd just talk through that.
It's 8:30 now and we want to be rounding the point at about 11 o'clock.
Low tide is 10:54 and the flood tide, so the incoming tide, always runs north along the coast, so we want to be with that round the point.
Yeah, so that'll help carry us quicker further north.
Yeah.
The weather forecast has been quite changeable over the last couple of days, and basically every time we've checked it, it's said either a different wind strength or the wind coming from a different direction. So we're just doing a final check of the weather to work out what route we take.
It's actually looking much nicer than I was expecting.
Yeah, it'll still be headwinds.
Yeah, but it's not raining.
And it might even be a little bit of kind of wind over tide, but it does look, like it might be a nice sail, which is good.
This is saying about 22.5 nautical miles, but I think in total 25 nautical miles for us.
Summary there.
So Abby's like, motor, put your sails up for 5 minutes, take your sails down.
Yeah, so these yellow marks here at the start of the course, these mean motor. I think we're probably going to end up motoring all the way because it'll be headwinds.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's our plan. Pretty much set off at low water, just before low water, catch the tides around the headland, and then go into that very little secluded point. Maybe we'll get some sailing in later in the day, but motoring for the first couple hours probably.
Sounds good.
The weather was even better than forecast, and the sun made a rare appearance as we left Tobermory. We motored out of the harbour, past the Tobermory lighthouse, and enjoyed the scenery in front of us. We'd seen a lot of the Scottish coastline before now, but it felt like everything got more extreme as we approached Ardnamurchan Point. The mountains were taller, the landscapes more rugged, and the cliffs dropped more steeply into the sea.
We did so much planning and thinking about making it to open in Tobermory. And they were lovely, don't get me wrong, I've really enjoyed my time so far. But as we round the headland and we see these massive hills emerge, it could be Skye, it could be rock, it gives me the sense that, these are the waters that we really wanted to cruise. It's quite remote feeling here, and it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it. How are you feeling?
I think I'm feeling a little bit more anxious about rounding here than you. Part of me thinks that this sort of feels like an arbitrary line of everybody talks about things getting more difficult up here. And really we've had a lot of difficult things to deal with further south. Like Land's End and Lizard Point were no joke.
And the Mull of Kintyre.
And the Mull of Kintyre was pretty intense and intimidating. Yes, it'll definitely be more remote and there'll be fewer marinas that we can just dot into, but equally we kind of haven't really been enjoying our time in marinas, and we've been spending too long in them, and we've been wanting to spend less time in marinas, so that's a good thing. But because everyone's like, oh, you're going north of Ardnamurchan, I'm now like, oh, maybe this is a big deal and I should be scared of it.
Nah, we'll be fine. No problem.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
We almost always raise our mainsail when we're doing a passage, even if we expect to be motoring the whole way. You never know when you might have a problem with your engine, and on this particular passage we'd be close to land, so having an extra propulsion option is a good idea if we needed to turn away from the shore in a hurry. Raising the sail also stabilises the boat and makes life more comfortable on board. The seas are often bumpy around a headland, and they get extra bumpy when the wind is blowing over tide, as it was today. We were being carried along by the tide, but the wind was right on Delfino's nose. We were very jealous of some nearby boats who were managing to sail though, but we were still having a great day.
This is so cool.
Although we could easily have been having a much crappier day.
I just got like a food lift. On that note, ooh, go check the toilet.
Luckily, we caught it in time and our toilet wasn't overflowing onto the floor. Things were also looking up as we rounded the point and got a better angle onto the wind to finally start sailing. While we love our hard dinghy, one of the main drawbacks is that our Genoa sheet can often get stuck underneath it when it's on the foredeck. As we've sailed more, we've learnt how to make this less likely, but at this point in our journey, it was still happening basically every time we furled or unfurled the Genoa. We managed to sail for about half an hour before having to turn the motor back on, but then we were joined by a pod of dolphins and found out how much the wildlife loves this remote area. And sorry for our dolphin voices, as you can probably tell, we were super excited to see them.
Those are definitely dolphins.
Not as graceful as the dolphins.
Use the lifelines. It just comes out, there's an absolute million birds.
As well as the dolphins, we also saw huge flocks of birds resting on the water and enjoying the calm conditions. Or at least they were until we came through and disturbed them. Sorry, birds. After a great day, we made it to the entrance of Loch Moidart, an 8-kilometre long loch, which, as we were getting used to, had a very narrow navigable channel for most of the way in, big tidal considerations, and lots of scattered rocks, which are great for seals but less good for boats. We had a very careful eye on our charts for the whole time. After a brief, terrifying moment where my phone lost GPS signal, luckily we had our chart plotter and Stu's phone also on, we avoided a sandbank and passed over the shallowest part of the loch, with only a foot of water under our keel, and we got ready to anchor. Although this wide angle doesn't look like it, the area nearest the castle is very small, and there's really only enough space for one boat to anchor, as there's an underwater cable on one side that would be a bad idea to drop your anchor on. But we thought we found a space and went to drop our anchor, only to find that our windlass was not doing anything and our anchor wouldn't go down. So we had to resort to driving in circles, reading the manual, and trying to get it unstuck. Eventually we managed to lower the anchor manually and could settle into our most scenic loch yet. We really experienced the roller coaster of highs and lows that sailing can bring you in the space of a few hours.
What are you making?
Right, I am making pasta with a mushroom, white wine, garlic, cream and parsley sauce. Except I couldn't be bothered to find the white wine. It's somewhere behind one of the sofas, so we're having vermouth instead. So it might be a bit weird, but
Sure to be
ready
tasty.
to sizzle. Quite a lot of sizzle actually.
Maybe you should open that.
Yeah. A bit more sizzle than expected.
Between the gaps in the rain, we worked on taking apart and servicing our windlass. We think it's the original 20-year-old windlass that came with the boat, and although it is protected by being down in the anchor locker, it's now pretty corroded and easily gets stuck. If it does get stuck, we think that the electric motor can't generate enough power to lower the chain, and releasing it by hand also becomes incredibly difficult. But after a few hours of scrubbing and fiddling, it seemed to be a bit better. We'd seen people walking along the shoreline from the boat, and with the windlass mostly fixed and no rain on the forecast, it was finally our turn to check out the path.
Looking for somewhere to tie the dinghy on. Laura's tying it up here, but it's all the way down there. I'm not sure if you can quite see how low that is.
Apart from the section that we'd seen, we didn't really know what we were going to find ashore. But this was such a great walk, the scenery around us constantly changing and Delfino anchored in the background.
Who's Jurassic Park?
Dreaming of rock climbing. Graceful. Hey, you did okay.
Muddy crotch.
Definitely submerged at high tide here, I think. Look at this thing, it's like a video game character. Turning cairn. You excited for some fords, Laura?
I'm a bit nervous about some fords. I'm a bit nervous about how up this is going, but we can always turn around if we need to.
Exactly. Come on, it won't be that bad. Look at this.
Up in the river.
Walk up the river. It's been kind of boggy going, but views totally worth it. That's where we're going. Over there. Not too much, only 700 meters. And by 700 I mean 1400. 1400. No, wait. 140. There we go. 140.
1,400 metres.
No, 100. Only 140. Only 140. Order of magnitude wrong. Laura's found her Ford.
Yeah.
Come on.
Ford Fiesta over here.
Let's go. That looks like a top cairn.
enjoying the hike?
It's been lovely. Yeah, really good. The sound of bees has been constant, but it's been super beautiful. Really lovely. The ferns are super big.
Yeah, ferns are taller than me.
They are. We shouldn't hang around in here too long.
Yeah.
You know, that's the sound of, Laura.
Bees?
Ford.
Ford!
Running water. Must be a ford. Now we're going all the way along here, along the quay, and then right there's the path. So Laura, do you think there's going to be an ice cream truck down there?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, off. No way. So they need to get on it. Highland Council selling cornettos. That's one.
I would pay like £25 for a cornetto right now.
Yeah, exactly. Cornetto monopoly.
Wow.
B minus.
B minus. I was about to say, I think this might be one of my favourite walks I've ever done.
Okay, B.
B?
Yeah, solid passing grade.
Another Ford?
Yeah. I think OS Maps was lying.
I think it was lying, yeah.
There was no Ford. Oh, there's so many bugs.
But it's so pretty.
It's beautiful, but there's the bugs everywhere. That thing. Look at it next to my hand.
This is huge. That's definitely the biggest mushroom I think I've ever seen.
I think so.
After a long day of hiking, we had a momentous moment on board.
Stu's having his first shower ever inside a boat.
It's getting warmer.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
This is supposed to be a PG-13 channel.
Thanks for watching. See you next time when we continue north to spend a weekend with friends, checking out mainland Britain's most remote pub and making the most of another rare sunny day.